Hello, Rex Ride Rowdies, and these are my TLC predictions. Let's just get started. Rhodes Dynasty versus the Real Americans versus Big Show and Ray versus Rybaxel. Uh, I'm gonna go with Rhodes Dynasty because honestly, none of those teams deserve it. Uh, besides the Real Americans, and they're not gonna put the titles on them yet.
They're gonna win.
Uh, then we have pre-show. Forgot about the pre-show. My bad. Fandango versus Dolph Ziggler. Obviously, WWE isn't too fond of Ziggler, just like they're not too fond of Daniel Bryan. So, even though they're not fond of Ziggler, they're going to give him the win. Honestly, Fandango was just a fad. He was just about as important as the Harlem Shake or Gangnam Style. And see how quick that faded away? Exactly. But I mean, besides that, Ziggler's going to win the match. What else is there? Natalya versus AJ for the Divas Championship. I actually think Natalya's got this one. AJ's had it for a while. She's had the third longest Divas Championship reign ever, just behind Beth Phoenix and Maurice. And I believe that Natalya is going to be the one to end this title reign and become the new Divas champion. And it's also going to promote Total Divas, so it'll help them. Daniel Bryan versus the Wyatt family. Daniel Bryan's been the biggest star of 2013, honestly. We could all agree on that. But I mean, he's facing three men. Three men that work together so well that you don't see any differences between them. Like, they don't argue, they don't do any of that stuff. So you could be sure to bet your money on the Wyatt family. Daniel Bryan, they're gonna give him a good fight, but he's not gonna win. Which leads us to CM Punk versus The Shield. CM Punk is honestly probably one of the greatest superstars there's been in a while. He had one of the longest reigns in the last 25 years. Held the title for a very long time. I believe he's going to come out with the win. The Shield is arguing a lot lately, and it's so they could disperse eventually. I don't know what they're going to do with Rollins or Ambrose, but you could tell, and because of rumors, that Roman Reigns will become the next biggest star. He's a future championship contender, and honestly, it's a good thing that they're doing that. Because the Shield, it's been there for a year already. You don't want it to be overdue. Right now, it's still okay. It's a good team. They're still like tough. You could still consider them a threat. But I mean, you don't want them to get overdue like the Aces and Eights. Aces and Eights was way too long, honestly. But yeah, I believe CM Punk's gonna come out with the win. I feel like Reigns might spear one of his own opponents on accident. I mean, one of his own teammates on accident. Punk pushes Reigns out or something, gets the win real quick. That's what I believe is gonna happen. So yeah, Punk with the win. Big E Langston versus Damian Sandow. They're not gonna give it to Sandow. I'm sorry. If you're a Sandow fan, you have to know he's a good competitor, but he's not gonna win the Intercontinental. They just gave the title to Big E. They're not gonna make him lose it that quick. Sandow originally was supposed to, I don't know like if he was supposed to or not, but he was in the World Heavyweight Championship spot for a while, for probably 3 weeks they considered him in it, and then they just dropped him. I know they didn't want him to get too overhyped, like what happened with Swagger and how he was pushed too quick. But I think now, after he loses to Biggie Langston, they should be giving him hints at world championship contender, like what they did with Cody. Cody, you could probably consider him a world heavyweight championship contender. Ziggler for sure, Like, these people have been given hints, pushed a little bit, that would give them the thought that they could be world champion one day. Well, that doesn't matter anymore, because we're going to the unified champion. John Cena versus Randy Orton in a TLC match for the United States, for the unified WWE, well, the unified championship. That's what they call it. Cena or Randy, who's gonna win? None. They say there will be a winner, one winner, but yet every time they talk about the previous champs, the best of the best, Stephanie always has to push in, and my husband Triple H, and my husband Triple H. So who's gonna leave TLC with the title? Triple H. You can mark my words. Triple H leaves TLC with the unified championship. And that's all the matches for TLC. Those are my predictions. I'll see you all later.